Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakar Kodash. It's your brother Malcolm from the branch of GMS here in Chicago, giving all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, who are the true leaders of all Israel set up on earth today. Whether you receive that or not. Salutations to my fellow laborers, the Akim, the confusion of face Akim, and to the Akwaf that are listening and learning. Peace and salutations unto you. This is just going to be a lesson on the whoredoms of Israel and how we're all so defiled and shamed people, finding our way back to the Father. All right, and no other people could fit this. And I'm gonna tell you now, the language in this video may get a little rough, and it's coming right out of the Bible. The Bible is not all, candy wrappings, sugar coated like they do in the churches, man. The churches are full of false prophets and false teachers that teach for filthy lucre's sake. All right, they're referred to as whorehouses. And the women of Israel have played the whore along with the rest of Israel. The men of Israel played the whore too, and metaphorically by transgressing the laws of the Lord and following after strange gods and strange flesh. And our women have probably done even triple that amount. Just reflecting on some of the things that I've seen over the last couple days. While I was waiting for my car the other day, sitting in a shop, an episode of Maury came on, which I would never watch that garbage, man. But, everyone's seen the Maury show and know what it's about. The whole "you are not the father," but it was just, a crazy episode. And the whoredoms that were displayed of Israel is all for entertainment of Esau, man. All right, Esau is mocking and making fun and making money off of us, all right, and yet shaming us. And people go to be in the audience and watch the show and laugh and clap. And Edomites talk about this stuff at work and on the train and at their parties, and and they're entertained by it. Now, granted, there's no bigger whore on the planet than the Edomite woman. She still is the number one whore on the planet. All right. But the women of Israel mimic her in so many ways, man. All right. So watched another show. I was watching that Black Mirror, which I highly suggested people in the know, you people who have been awakened, if you're of the hopeful elect, to watch the Black Mirror. My brother explained to me what a Black Mirror is. Black Mirror is the black screen on your phone or your TV. All right, because it's witchcraft. It's a medium. All right. That's how demons are used to communicate with, through black mirrors. Okay, because people are so lost in the social media and in television and stuff. That's also a part of playing the whore. But in this episode of the Black Mirror, man, there's some computerized controlled, I think it was called Kill the DJ. Some computerized matchmaking controlled, civilization that these people were living in. They had this attractive sister who was, she went on a date with this one Edomite, and they had like a spiritual connection. And they were only allotted 16 hours together. All right. And then after that, they both kept, he was the one she really wanted to be with. And she, they both really wanted to have sex, but they didn't, and so they parted ways. And then they both just continued to get, date after date, especially her. His assignments were a little bit longer than hers, but hers, basically, they just took this woman and she was don't know if she was a Jake, but she definitely had the appearance of being Jake. All right. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure she probably was, unless she was that good of an actress. But this woman, her character was made to lay down with so many men that you lost count. All right, which is most of you women. You know, you completely and totally defiled. All right, a little scientific study real fast before we go into the scriptures, that this woman had to be completely and totally bugged out by this time. Why? Is because when you slept with all these men and they've injected all their sperm into you, especially into your mouth, their sperm cell attaches to their sperm attaches to your brainstem. So by the time you finally find a man who thinks he wants to be with you, your spirit is in constant war with his because of all the other male DNAs that are coming against him. All those spirits are in you, man. You know? And even the church has a false doctrine that they talk about spirit connections, but that's really what that's talking about. All right? Because there is proven that life is in the sperm. All right? I think in the church they call it soul ties or something like that. I remember hearing that doctrine. Okay? But a woman is not supposed to be with that many men. All right? It's just not supposed to be. A woman's body was designed to be with one man, her husband. All right? You know? And it's as simple as that. And a lot of you women don't want to hear that because a lot of you women don't like order. You don't really fear the Lord. And you don't care about the Lord because you say that the law is done away with and all this other mess. Then there would be no such thing as adultery if the law was done away with. Okay? This is Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter. And I'm going to start at verse 6. And it says, Yahweh said also unto me in the days of Hosea the king, hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel have done? She is gone up from every high mountain and under every green tree, and there she played the harlot. You know? Just like when you go to the scripture in Sirach, in the 25th and the 26th chapter, when it talks about how the woman sits down by the bush and she takes every arrow into her quiver. The arrow is talking about men's rods, just like in this television show. She took all them different rods into her quiver, and she drank up their water. She, you know, and most women suck dry the man of the moment or the man of the hour. For some of you, because some of you women have sex with multiple men in one day. All right? And, you know, and some of you weekly. And some of you are proud of it. Okay? But it says, she has gone up upon every high mountain and under every green tree, and there she played the harlot. And I said, after she have done all these things, turn thou unto me. But she returned not. And her treacherous sister Judah saw it. All right, so that was referring to the northern kingdom, Israel. This is how you know it's talking about two nations, the family that was separated. Okay, both the northern and the southern kingdom. Okay, which is being brought back together, which is fear is upon Esau as a result of this. All right, and I saw when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, and I put her away, and given her a bill of divorce. Yet a treacherous sister Judah feared not, and played the harlot also. So after the northern kingdom was put away, after Israel was put away. All right, this is another one of those scriptures too. How you yet prove that Israel is often or sometimes referring to the northern kingdom. Okay, is this one right here in Jeremiah the 3rd chapter. All right, so let's jump over to verse 14. Turn, O backsliding children, referring to both the northern and southern kingdom. Saith Yahweh, for I am married unto you, and I will take you one of a city and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion. And note, that didn't say anything about any other people, any other races. Okay? The other races have nothing to do with that. Salvation is not for of the other nations, man. It's only for Israel. Mind that. That subject matter will always come up. Because these churches are still trying to teach everybody and all people. When it says all men and all people, you have to go and read it in context. And when you start reading the context, you learn that that's referring to all Israel, that are there or scattered abroad. This is Hosea 2:19. If you read the book of Hosea, it's talking about the northern kingdom mostly. All right. And I will betroth thee unto me forever. Yeah, I will betroth thee unto me righteously and in judgment and in loving kindness and in mercy. So it's talking about Israel, man, not the other races. Okay, verse 17. And this is Jeremiah 3:17. And at that time they shall call Jerusalem the throne of Yahweh, and all the nations shall be gathered unto it, to the name of Yahweh, to Jerusalem. Neither shall they walk any more after their imaginations and after their evil heart. In those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north here in America, and I have given for an inheritance unto their father. So, and one of the precepts of that is Hosea 1:10. Okay, Isaiah 11:13. This is talking about Israel, man, and all those people that are gathered. That's there's going to be peace on earth and law among the other nations once Israel is ruling again. Then the nations will seek to the light of Israel. Not before, man. Not before. And here's a scripture to prove it. Jumping down to 23. Truly, in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitudes of the mountains. Those are the other nations, other races. Truly, in Yahweh, our power, personal pronoun, the salvation is of Israel. All right. So to say otherwise is coming out with that effeminate I think and I feel. And the Lord don't give a damn about how you thinking and how you feeling, man. He's not. He ain't having it. Okay. This is Ezekiel, the 13th chapter, starting at verse 7. For every one of the house of Israel, or the stranger that sojourneth into Israel, will separate himself from me. So that means that stranger was an Israelite. And when did Israel become strangers? During the Grecian captivity is when it happened mainly. During the Grecian captivity, which is pulled out of the Bible when they removed the Apocrypha. And then they jumped straight to the Roman captivity and then talking about how the strangers and the Gentiles. No. But they left out the history when Israel became strangers and Gentiles. I've already read scripture say how he's going to gather them from out of the north, and we're going to be gathered up from among the heathen, for we're scattered about them, man. Tobit, the 13th chapter, around I believe it's Tobit, the 13th chapter. I won't get it, but it kind of touches on that in the book of Tobit. Yeah, 13, like verses 1 through 5. That's a really strong prayer. I suggest brothers read it. Okay? And you sisters as well. This is Ezekiel 4. Salakia, did I say 13? That was 14 that I was reading. Salakia. That was Ezekiel 14, not 13. 14 and 7. All right. For every one of the house of Israel, or the stranger that sojourneth into Israel, which separated himself from me and setteth up his idols in his heart, and putteth the stumbling block of iniquity before his face, and cometh to a prophet to inquire of him concerning me, Yahweh will answer him myself. So when you're going into these churches, you go into Pastor D, what was the other one? Dr. Kim, James White the Edomite, Vocab Malone, Pastor Anderson, Paula White, Benny Hinn, Joe Hagee, John Hagee, What's the other one who got exposed during Katrina? Uh, can't think of his name right now, but Joel Osteen. These people are false prophets, man, and they're heathens on top of that. They're total heathens, man. All right. I will set my face against that man, and I will make him a sign and a proverb, and I will cut him off from the midst of my people, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. So we constantly keep telling you, the biggest I told you so in the history of I told you so's is coming to Israel, man. Okay? And they shall bear the punishment of their iniquity, and the punishment of the prophet shall be even as the punishment of him that seeketh him. All right? So when you go into these people, you're gonna catch hell, man, for even believing in them. All right? This is Ezekiel, the 23rd chapter, man. And this is what came to mind last night as we conversated about the girl in the movie, man, because after all that defilement, her and this guy found themselves back together and went against the system and broke away from the system. And we realized that this is talking about the backsliding daughter coming back to the truth, man. They use this beautiful girl, as an example, because it got to the point you weren't even attracted to her anymore, because every other scene you would see her getting in the bed or getting out of the bed with yet another man, And so by the time it's over, this woman had probably at least 40 different semen shot into her, man. And for most women today, that's modest. Yeah, I was watching a video a couple weeks back with that wicked demon Cardi B, who's really not that pretty without makeup. You see her without makeup, she ain't really that hot, man. All right. And the video comes on with her talking about how niggas be nutting in her booty and not in her mouth. So she's just walking anal cancer disease waiting to happen, man. And trust me, if she telling you that much, there's quite a few different different male sperm being shot into her mouth too. Not to mention the time she getting tag teamed and double teamed and all that kind of mess, because she's rapped openly about that, man. And some of these women are into that, and you Israelite women are into that, man. And the Most High is going to judge you with a sword of destruction, man. You are disgusting, especially those of you who are mothers and you live that way. This is Ezekiel, the 23rd chapter, right? And you damn mangina simps who glorify women like this, man. There's no more prized possession than the women of our nation, man. And hell, there was a time if a woman had been with another man, she was damaged goods. You didn't want to have nothing to do with her, man. I don't care how fine she was damaged goods. She either had to, she either just got labeled a whore and stayed that way, and that was it. Because nobody would take her serious or want to be with her any other way, man. All right. This is Ezekiel 23:2. Son of man, there were two women, the daughters of one mother. That's the northern and southern kingdom. All right. And they committed whoredoms in Egypt, and they committed whoredoms in their youth, and their breasts pressed, and they were bruised the teats of their virginity, man. So they was getting pounded. Chest after chest smushed up against their breasts, man. Penis after penis. Now let's see to show you how the Lord is looking. He's giving you a visual image. This is like a damn porn movie, man. A damn gangbang or some shit. Okay? This is coming out the Bible. This is not I think and I feel. I'm reading it. All right? Jump into the 17th chapter. The Babylonians came to her in bed, into the bed of love, and they defiled her with their whoredoms, and she was polluted with them, and her mind was alienated from them. And this is speaking about their doctrines, but he's actually using sexual a sexual metaphor that you may understand. So she discovered her whoredoms and discovered her nakedness, and her mind was alienated from her, like as my mind was alienated from her sister. And she multiplied her whoredoms in calling the remembrance of the days of her youth, wherein she had played the harlot in the land of Egypt. So it's like a woman thinking about all the different men in the clubs and stuff. I remember when I was in the Marine Corps, man, and how, and being young and not, being naive and stupid in a lot of ways. But I remember how every time one of those Marine units deployed or one of those naval units deployed, there was always a fresh new batch of girlfriends for the next 6 months. These same wicked bitches that you see on TV holding their babies and waving the white handkerchief or the, tying the yellow river around the yellow band around the old oak tree and crying as their husbands go off to war, all right, or go off to serve. Those women are all up in the club that very next night. And yes, I'm not going to say every one of them, but the majority of them they get a new boyfriend for 6 months. Some of them just play the harlot and just jump from penis to penis. I've seen it with my own eyes, man. I've seen it over and over again, man. Guys would get excited when a unit deployed for that reason. Okay? In the Navy and the Marine Corps, there was a saying, you can trust me with your life, but not your money or your wife, man. What kind of brotherhood is that? We seek a true brotherhood, man. Men who would disdain the thought of being around another man's wife. Barely even speak to another man's wife out of respect for the brother. Okay? That's a man that I've served Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai with years, man. And I'm just now knowing what their wives look like. I actually can remember their phases so I can remember to say hello to them. Because I refuse to look at a woman in that matter, especially when I know she's another man's wife, man. Why? Because I'm afraid of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. And I don't want to offend a brother. Right? But you wicked ass Israelites, you niggas out there would know nothing about that, man. Verse 20, Ezekiel 23 and 20. For she doted upon their paramours, whose flesh is the flesh of asses, and whose is like the issues of horses. So he's calling them donkey dicks and horse dicks, man. And I remember the brothers was telling me some stories how they met some women on social media, Not that brothers is lagging or anything, but these women was asking out the gate, do you have double digits? Meaning, do you have 10 inches or more? How would you even know that you only desire 10 inches or more unless you've been with a whole lot of penises, man? All right? A brother may have a little bit more than average, but not quite 10 inches, and be very pleasing to his woman. All right? Because anything 7 or over supposedly is considered good, but then even how would a woman know that, man? That means you've been with a whole lot of penises, man. You're the one with the problem. You're disgusting, defiled, and death is coming for you. Okay? And that's our women, but that's also us as a whole. All up in these churches talking with this Jeevis, calling on sweet Jeevis. All right? My nephew just said the other day how they're doing religious studies and all that stuff. But then also in history class, the same social studies teacher fixed her lips to say that the letter J was newly created in 1634. Backing up what we say. His school teacher taught him that. It's like, well, wait a minute. If the letter J wasn't created to 1634, what did you call the Lord in 1631? Jesus is not the name, people. Get a grip, stupid. All right. And like I was saying, man, whoredoms in America is celebrated and rewarded. And I'm going to read this last scripture in Sirach. Okay? And this is Sirach 23, verse 22. Thus it shall go also with the wife that leaveth her husband and bringeth in an heir of another. So, this for you women who you already got children and you go and have a son with another man while you married, you already had children with someone else. All right. Who's still alive, that's not dead, because by the law, until that man dies, you're supposed to be with him. So if you weren't ready to honor that, you had no business lying with him. And the Lord is going to lay you down, all right? Okay? And some of you horribly. I just watched a video last night of this attractive Northern Kingdom woman with some great big old breasts, some nice hips, physically attractive. I don't know what she did, but someone was filming, and two men went at her with a machete, man. And the first one grabbed her and dragged the machete across her throat and slung her to the ground. You saw the blood begin to come out. And when she hit the ground, the other one pounced on and stabbed in her stomach like 3 times with a big knife. The knife had to be at least 12 inches long, and he made it disappear into her gut. The same time that she was getting stabbed in the stomach, the other one was hacking at her head, man. And you saw her put her hand up to try to stop the blade going into her stomach because of the pain. But then the one hacking at her neck, you saw the life leave her as her arms just went limp. And then he held her head up to the camera, man. And she was dead. And the whole ordeal was probably less than 10 seconds, but it was so violent. And it was amazing to me that they could do such a thing to this beautiful woman. But you know what? That was Israel. And, and that sort of thing is coming to America, man. That's going to be happening worldwide when there's lawlessness everywhere. And then you people are going to realize that there's been prophets among you to warn you what's going to happen, man. And that's going to happen to a lot of you women who got these men caught up on all these different child support laws and locked up, putting them into Esau's wicked system and all that kind of mess too, man. You best believe, man, when the lights go dark, when there's no 911, it's going to get real ugly out here, man. Just like in that video, man, because that video was disturbing. Okay? Verse 22, Sirach 23:22. Thus shall it also go with the wife that leaveth her husband and bringeth in the heir of another. For first she hath disobeyed the law of the Most High, and secondly she hath trespassed against her own husband, and thirdly she has played the whore in adultery and brought children by another. And see, that's celebrated in this society. They reward you in the courts. You could have 10 children from 10 different men, and no one sees you as the problem. She shall be brought out into the congregation, and inquisition shall be made of her children, and her children shall not take root. So a lot of times these children are going to get put to death. They're not going to be allowed to take root or live among the people, man. You're going to be forced out on your own. All right. Her children shall not take root, and her branches shall bring forth no fruit. She shall leave her memory to be cursed, and her reproach shall not be blotted out. And she could end up just like the girl in that video, man. So with that, I hope this was edifying for those who need to be edified. All praise, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh Bashem Nabashai and Abba Babal.